Hello everyone, welcome to Kochi, welcome to Athiravali Waterfalls. We are here to drive the all-new Tata Punch EV. So I thought we should start from the iconic place here. Now let's continue with the video, but before the video continues, please enjoy this view. Now first thing first, the new Punch EV is not just a facelift, it is a properly new car. Why I'm saying this? Because the design has been updated. There are so many mechanical changes obviously. The powertrain, the motor basically has been completely changed. It is now a 6-in-1 unit because every mechanical thing is inside that only, which helped the brand to reduce the cost of the vehicle and of course the weight of the vehicle. With reduced weight, they managed to get more range. And the more range is also because of the bigger battery pack. Now the brand also changed the chemistry of these cells. Now they are using the prismatic cells, by which they have managed to get more range in the same area. Now the car is obviously the same dimension, but the battery pack is now from 35 kWh to 40 kWh, which means you are getting 468 kilometers of ARAI claimed range. But the real life range stays between 320 to 350 kilometers depending upon your driving, the AC performance, the day and night, and of course summers and winters too. Now the major part. We are going to discuss it in the drive, that how this new weighted battery or the light weighted motor and the driving dynamics has changed, because the company has also removed the disc brakes from the rear tires. So that's going to be a big thing. So let's start with the review. We are going to cover positives, negatives and complete drive review of the Tata Punch EV. Watch this video till the end and do subscribe if you haven't already, because the car guide is now posting on English channel as well. I think our focus should be on the main USPs of this vehicle. Company has so highly promoted BaaS, the battery as a service system, and the lifetime warranty with this car. Now what is the lifetime warranty on unlimited kilometers? Let me clear these things out. All these features might feel nice to hear, but the complete truth is something else. See, for the lifetime warranty, it is not 100 years, it is 15 years. The date of registration, the government laws and everything, it allows us to register any vehicle for maximum period of 15 years. After that, we can renew the vehicle, but not the warranty. So the registration period is of 15 years. So the warranty, the lifetime warranty is also for 15 years. First thing. Second thing, for unlimited kilometers. That is under the condition of fair usage. You cannot use the vehicle for commercial purposes. You cannot use the vehicle for trade purposes. So if you have a private number plate, using it as it fairly, then you can claim for this unlimited kilometer warranty. And if you sell this car, the second owner will get a 8-year warranty or 1,60,000 kilometers, whichever is earlier, from the date of purchase. So that is a little catch you should know about it. This still is a good offer, because with lifetime warranty, brand is giving you an assurance that they have worked so hard for the battery, and the overall range will be maintained very well. The R&D and everything is so top notch for at least these vehicles right now, because the first EVs Tata Motors are launched, they could not have been with the lifetime warranty. Anyways, now comes the battery as a service part. Again, this might sound you very attractive, very very sweet to hear, but there is a complete different scenario you should know about it. Okay, for example, the 6.49 lakh ex-showroom price is for the base variant price, the 30 kWh with very less features, and the 2.6 rupees per kilometer is also for that 30 kWh battery. If you're opting for the 40 kWh battery, then the prices will be different for the base ex-showroom and of course the per kilometer cost. And also, even if you drive 400 kilometers, 500 kilometers a month, or even 1 kilometer a month, you still have to pay 1800 kilometers worth of price, which is 4,680 rupees for the 30 kWh battery pack. For this 40 kWh battery pack, the price will be much higher. So now all of these things, this makes it the calculation very different, because very confusing also, because now you have to pay two EMIs, one to the bank for the vehicle and one to the financial institution with which your tie-up will be for the battery as a service system, for the battery rental. So you are paying two EMIs now. One is fixed and one is variable, where 4,680 rupees is the minimum amount and the maximum depends upon your driving. So rather than going for these different EMIs, I would highly suggest you to avoid the BaaS system. Go for the normal without BaaS pricing. That is also very value for money. And if the budget allows, go for the top variant itself of the 12.69 or 49 lakh rupees without the BaaS, with 40 kWh battery, with lifetime warranty, and with the faster charging, and of course more features as well. So I think you should go for the top variant. If your budget is tight and everything, the EMI won't be a big difference, but we are here for you. VC60 is here for you. You just have to call on these numbers. We will tell your CIBIL score according to your requirements, and we are going to provide the lowest rate of interest possible with different banks. You don't have to take loan exactly from us. You're still going to take a loan from a bank, but which bank is the best for you, we are going to find it out, and that is completely free of cost. So you should call VC60 for any car, and you want to take a loan on it pan India. It is completely free. All you have to do is call on these numbers. Now let's continue with the other things. Come. Now let's talk about the pros and cons of this vehicle. The first pro is this is an SUV, and it feels like an SUV because it is big, it is bulky, it has a nice shape of a muscular car, and again it is a Tata. So Tata is very good expert in making SUVs, and you feel it as well. And the new color options are also very promising, because I like the red one. It is available in the normal Punch, and I was hoping it to come at Punch EV, and I'm glad that the Tata Motors have launched this color also. They also have Fearless Yellow, they also have other colors as well, but I personally like the new red color. Which one is your favorite? Do let us know by commenting below. Talking about other design aspects, I believe this is a very good thing that they have removed this extra strip of LED light, and now this is not connected. I think this is a good move, and I think I saw a reel also that this is the world's first car which has removed their lights from this. I think Verna could be the next one. But anyways, the Punch EV has no longer the connected DRLs. This is a single unit. That is a single unit. These are obviously the indicators as well. Again, the headlight unit is a projector beam. The cornering lamp, the fog lamps are also present. And I personally believe the overall one grille philosophy is a very good design. And there is also something different which is not usually in other cars. That is a grey grille. The grey cladding, the skid plates, the grille adds to very nice touch to the new colors also, because these new grey color design is giving a more SUV-ish look, and this is also prone to have more scratches on it, and this grey color is also continued in the interior. So they are not using the black plasticky interior, they are using the grey color interior, which looks much more spacious and premium. And again, let's talk about the charging now. You cannot open the charger from here by pressing it. You have to just go inside and unlock it. But for the charging part, let me clear you one more or two more things, that for actual electric savings, fuel savings, you should definitely use the home charger you're going to get. And if you ever require a fast charger, now I would highly recommend to use the home charger you're going to get with it. You can also opt for the better home charger for an extra cost. But if you're using the fast charger, let me tell you one very important thing, that do not use this charger again and again. It will also deplete the battery health. And secondly, it is going to be very expensive also, because using a fast charger is not as efficient as using the home charger. So it comes at a cost of usually probably a diesel vehicle. So the fast charger is only for emergency cases. It is for highway usage, because you need to be at some place else very soon. So you need to have a fast charger with you. So you have now support 65 kilowatt charger, which means you can charge the vehicle from 20 to 80% in less than 26 minutes. However, terms and conditions apply, because that 65 kilowatt has to be constant, which is a rare thing, because when you plug it to a 60 kilowatt charger, the maximum power it gets is 55 kilowatt. However, if you charge it with a 120 kilowatt charger or 180 kilowatt, which is very rare in India right now, you can get a 65 kilowatt output as well. But sometimes the charger is of 60 kilowatt and there are two vehicles, then you're going to get around 27-28 kilowatt only. So the charging time varies from that thing. But again, there are plenty of chargers right now. The infrastructure has gone so much better now, and you can get probably a charger in every 10 kilometers very easily. So that's a good thing with any vehicle. The light theme interior also feels very premium. There are multiple things about it, because it feels spacious. The blue stitching also represents the EV nature of this vehicle, be it the touchscreen user interface, be it the stitching they have provided on the steering, and be it the grey and white color combination. Because there is very less black color, you feel that the vehicle is very big and spacious from the inside. That too with the A-pillars, and the lining is also in very light colors. I personally believe that when a vehicle is in light colors, especially when a small vehicle is in a light colors, then you feel it as a big car. So that's add up to a very strong point for any compact entry level hatchback or SUV. Now if you want to feel more premium, then remember the features of this vehicle. A big touchscreen, wireless Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, digital cluster, so many games on the touchscreen as well, pedal shifters for regen, cruise control, multiple drive modes, voice enabled electric sunroof, 65-watt Type-C port, multiple voice assistants, and multiples app on the screen as well, with a high quality 360-degree camera and a wireless charger too. Now because of all these features, you feel that this car is more fun, safe and modern too. Do keep in mind that there is no spare tire under the boot space. However, the space is kind of plenty, because 366 liters is a huge amount for a compact entry level SUV. However, I cannot say the same for the rear passengers, because the knee room is just decent. There's plenty of under thigh support. However, there are features missing like the rear AC vents, headroom is also decent. The 6 airbags are quite nice. However, the whole car has only 4 speakers. There are no tweeters. There are housing for tweeters, but the company has not installed these tweeters as per the website. And also, there is a sturdy armrest, very sturdy though, because it's a little bit of too strong to handle, but there are no cup holders here. So all the bottles in the cup you have to keep on the door side. But ultimately, this is an affordable electric SUV, and that too an entry level one. But I think there should be rear AC vents for faster and better cooling for the rear passengers. Knee room is something which I can adjust on, but I think rear AC vents are really required, especially when hot summers and the temperature rises beyond 40-45 degrees easily. One of the best parts of all the EVs are the acceleration. The Punch EV goes from 0 to 100 km per hour in just 9 seconds, and which means you are getting the instant torque of an electric. Now this is possible due to the 40 kWh battery packs more powerful battery and motor combination, which gives you a 124 bhp or 127 hp and 154 Newton meters of instant torque. The torque at the wheel is much higher, but as we compare it with other cars, we talk about the motor's torque, so we'll talk about that only. So that is 154 Newton meters, and the 0 to 100 for the smaller battery pack, the 30 kWh battery pack, where the power is only 88 bhp, the torque remains the same, is 0 to 100 in less than 13.5 seconds. There's a chart presented here in front of you. You can get an idea how quick and how fast these vehicles, electric vehicles, are. Because of that, there is no direct competition of this Punch EV other than the EC3. I would say this is the fastest, the quickest and the smallest car in India right now, because if you consider the more affordable price point as well, so that is also very important to consider. And again, there's also another point of EV, because you're not getting any manual transmission. All the variants are automatic if we consider it, so you actually get an automatic feel in the base variant too, because you don't have to change any gears. It's very easy to use. However, I would have appreciated if there was a physical knob or something like that, because this knob is obviously physical, but these controls are not really locked to that. If I rotate the knob here, so it can sometimes skip one gear, because it's parking, reverse, neutral and drive. So I have to really make sure that it is still going on parking rather than going on reverse when I want to park the vehicle. So I have to look at it first, and I cannot just manually do it or manually just set it. I've done it 4 times or 3 times, so I do not get an idea about it. So I have to look it down. So you can, in other cars, in more EVs where you have column type selector or probably even a knob type, you can get an idea that this vehicle is in parking mode, this vehicle is in drive mode, without actually looking at it. So that is a small drawback of this one. Anyways, moving on to the other important point. Now a major question is range. The company claims, the ARAI claims 468 kilometers. However, in real life scenario, the company says 320 to 355. That 75% of the people will actually get this range. That is why it is called C75. The customers C75, 75% of the customers should get this range. However, when we are driving this vehicle, we have already driven it for more than 120 kilometers to be exact. and we are getting around 130 watt per kilometer, which is translating to around 300 to 330 kilometers of range from 100 to 0. Nobody is going to use the range from 100% to 0%. It is a matter of fact that you are going to use this vehicle on a daily basis from probably 80 to 20, 80 to 50, sometimes 80 to 10, sometimes 50 to 10. So that it is completely depends upon your driving and what you're planning ahead for the day. The good part is that you can have the fast charger mostly available in all routes right now in India. The infrastructure has grown really good. However, again, there are so many EVs. It is not really easy and evident that you are always the charger you are going to find on the app or the nearest charger is always available. That is going to be a very rare case because sometimes the app shows it is available, but in 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes maybe, some other car which was near to the charger, it got in time and start using the charger. The charger is blocked again for at least 15-20 minutes. So which is why this EV infrastructure is a big question mark right now. You have to have multiple infrastructure charging points in multiple locations so that you can use an electric vehicle without any range anxiety or fear. Again, the range is not so much very impressive because the ARAI claimed in the real life mileage is a huge difference, and when you're going to probably use the sports mode even more, because that is a fun part of this vehicle, the range drops a lot. So the overall range if you're driving on the sports mode will come to around 250 kilometers. For a 40 kWh battery pack, this range seems a little less. First thing. Second, but in this price point, if we consider considering it as an SUV, I think the range is quite okay. So this is my whole opinion on the range, but I think ARAI should change their norms for testing because it can really be misleading. 468 and 330 kilometers, it's a huge gap, huge gap. Anyways, moving on to the other aspect, that the range from 30 kWh, what is that? We are not driving it right now, but you can expect around 250 kilometers in eco mode and sports mode. So usme I guess the sports mode is not available. That is only eco and city. So around 200 to 270 kilometers. I'll present you a chart here. What the company says that the real time customers, how much a real world scenario will get you the range for the 30 kWh and the 40 kWh. Honestly, the price difference is not so much, so I would suggest go for the 40 kWh. However, I feel that a proper range test should be conducted from 100% to 0%, and probably when we get time in next month, we are going to shoot it and of course upload it on a Hindi and English channel, both of them. So do subscribe to both of them if you are comfortable in English, because English is not our very first language. So my vocabulary is a little poor and I may find it difficult to find the right words for you to express what I exactly feel. But if you're comfortable in Hindi, I would highly recommend check our Hindi video, because I will be able to explain the car to you even better in my native language. Okay, so range test is coming soon. Subscribe for that. Now let's talk about the handling of this vehicle. We were able to go to the Athrapalli waterfalls. We had enough time, so we were also able to experience the hill station drive of this car along with the highway, along with the city too. So I would say it handles really well because of the added weight of the battery and the better center of gravity, because the battery is placed down. I think the overall cornering confidence has been increased if we compare it with the ICE variant, and the overall battery weight has been increased, but again the motor, the drive unit, the weight has been reduced there, so that is comes to a balance right here. But if we talk just about the handling, I believe this is one of the best handling vehicles in this segment if we consider it under 12.5 lakhs with a proper automatic EV section, and you get a very stable, very confident ride with it. However, it comes with a cost, because all of this is happening because of a stiff suspension. It is important to keep a stiff suspension because the weight of the battery and the overall heavy weight it has to manage. So it has to control the vehicle. But in cities, when you talk about any speed breaker or potholes, you have to be extra careful, and the speed has to be a little low to actually go through that speed breaker or a pothole, because otherwise it will be a really jerky ride for you. So as compared to probably a softer suspension, the city ride gets a little uncomfortable. But if you go from the speed breaker, cross the speed breaker, or pass through a pothole on a little lower speed than usual, then it might have not be a problem for you. So that is my conclusion on the suspension part. but the visibility is really good, power is really good. The disc brakes rear which are missing, I would say it is not adding so much of a difference, because ultimately the drum brakes are also good. The brand has ditched the disc brakes majorly because they think that the disc brake is almost continuously intact in contact with the brake pads, so it was reducing their range. Probably just 5 to 7 kilometers of range it is helping with the drum brakes, but that is a question to check. We cannot really compare it with the normal Punch EV and this Punch EV, because a lot of things have changed other than just the brakes. So I think they are suggesting it right, but I think a proper disc brake could have decreased the braking distance. Maybe, I'm not sure about it, because we really can't have a test right now. Although talking about the features point, there also there's a special system they have installed, that the battery management system uses the cooling from the radiator and from the AC in a proportion way, and it is automatically adjusted. At first it was either AC in the cabin or in the battery compartment, so that was once at a time only, so it can only cool one thing at a time. However, now both can be done very easily, and there are different combinations and permutations with different percentage of power and utilization of the cooling air which we are getting inside. So that is quite nice. It will really help for overall range, battery management and cooling inside the cabin too. However, again, rear AC vents are missing, so I would saying that it should have been there in this premium SUV. One thing about the Punch EV I really liked is the ground clearance of this vehicle. Considering it is an EV, 195 mm is a really good number. So this SUV actually is not going to touch anywhere from underneath. It will be easy to drive a little bit of off-road and everything, because usually the entry level vehicles or probably hatchbacks, they have a really low ground clearance, but for an EV 195 mm for this size, good, very good Tata Motors. One more thing I would like to appreciate, that the Tata Motors has able to provide a new feature that is called high beam alert. Now this is not an ADAS feature of high beam assist, however it is really helpful for the other persons on the road. For example, if I am driving in the Punch EV at 5 km to 40 km per hour for more than 1 minute and the light is on high beam, the alert here will come that please lower it down, use the low beam, because other person from the oncoming traffic might have a problem with it. So ultimately the Punch EV is also taking care of the other persons on the road. Again, even if your car does not have this feature, I would highly recommend to you to use the low beam lights during city rides, and probably even on the highways when other vehicles are coming. On highways when no other vehicle is coming or there's a huge gap in between, you can definitely use high beam, and you should use high beam lights only. So please consider other persons as well, because obviously you wouldn't even like if somebody else's car's light are boosting in your eyes and disturbing your overall visibility of the driving. Now I believe that the overall pricing of the vehicle is just right. You don't have to fall for the BaaS, for the battery as a service system, because that's hard to calculate. That's a bit of confusion, and you still pay the rent for the vehicle even if you're not driving, because the charging cost is something else, the EMI cost is something else, and the battery EMI is something else. So I would highly suggest you to go without the BaaS variant, and if your budget does not allow you to go for the top variant, you can go for the base variant, but also you can go for the top variant again, because there's very slight change in EMI, and I think you can manage that, because ultimately you are getting much more value. With the 40 kWh, with the top variant, you get much more features, much more range, much more safety, much more lifetime warranty, and everything else is also provided with a much more faster charging speeds. So overall, I believe Punch EV is so well priced that I can easily say Har Ghar EV Yojana for this vehicle, that every every car person who's looking for an EV does not have to think that, the EVs are really expensive, I cannot go for an EV. Because ultimately, the 5% GST thing is a very good thing. I'll explain it to you. Because with EVs, one thing is that you are not getting any manual variant, you are all getting the automatic variants. That also adds to the ease. First. Second, the GST part. Now the main thing is that when you buy an ICE vehicle, you're paying 18, 28 or probably 40% GST to the government, which you're not getting value of. But with this 5%, there's only 5%. The maximum amount you're paying for the vehicle is what you're getting also. So the features, the convenience, everything else, you're getting the value of it. It is not getting wasted for the taxes. So you also have to consider that. So the RTO is also minimum, very less, because if you compare an ICE vehicle at 12.5 lakhs and a EV vehicle 12.5 lakhs, there is no RTO charges in EV, so you're saving again 1 lakh to 1.5 lakh easily on that amount, 1 lakh probably, and depending on the state, 2 into 1.5 lakhs there as well. So I think going for an EV is a good choice right now, before the government applies more taxes on it, before the RTO starts asking for more tax on it. So I think the Punch EV is the one for you and you can go for it. There are slight problems with this vehicle, but again, for the price the company is offering, I think we can neglect those problems. What is your opinion? Do let us know by commenting below. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, drive safe, take care. I love you guys, and do subscribe to our English channel. And of course, the English is not so good, the vocabulary is still little less because this is not our first language. If you want to know more about this vehicle, I think the Hindi review will suit you better. Watch our Hindi channel as well. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, drive safe, take care. I love you guys. Bye bye.